Hello, it's me, and I'm going to do a couple of viewer requests. After doing the Professor Ghost Cube, I figured I had to slow it down a little bit, back off and do something maybe a little more simple. And after much relaxation and a lot of therapy, after doing after suffering the trauma of the Professor Ghost Cube, my hands have actually stopped shaking long enough to where I can do this. Anyway, so a couple of viewers had some questions on puzzles that were maybe a little simpler so that I can kind of slow it down a little bit, detox a little bit. Anyway, someone wanted to know how I go about solving the Pyraminx. So I really like the Pyraminx. This brings back a lot of nice memories because honestly, when I was a kid, when I was trying to solve the Rubik's Cube and I could solve the Pyraminx. So I'm going to go through my technique on how to do it. And there's actually two ways that you can do it. One is with zero algorithms. It's all just sort of setups and whatnot, and you will solve it that way. And the other way is a faster way, but requires two algorithms, a very derivative of algorithms that we already use. Well, what I'll do first is I'll just do it the way that you can solve this without doing any form of algorithms whatsoever. So, you turn these around. These don't contribute to the scramble, nor do they contribute to the actual solving. They're just there as vestigial components. Anyway, just give it a good scramble here. Abracadabra. What do we think? Nice and scrambled? Sure, why not? I hope there's not too much of a glare here. Anyway, so first part is, of course, get the easy part. You can put these caps back in, no problems. Kind of gets you in the mood for solving, but doesn't really contribute much. What you want to do first is you want to start getting sides. Now, with every puzzle, they have a calibrator. What's a calibrator? Well, something that calibrates the puzzle is something that orients it so that every other piece knows where to go, like you talk about a side or something like that. So in the case of, say, a 3x3, what calibrates the puzzle is, of course, the centers. So everything is based on the center. I know that this is the white side, so everything falls around that, and I put my cross in, and everything's fine, and nobody gets hurt. When you have an odd layer puzzle like that, it doesn't matter how many layers the odd layer puzzle is, you still have a calibrator. This is the 7-layer over here. This is still here, this is still here. So ultimately, I still have the centers to calibrate things. If you have an even layer puzzle, just to use this as an extreme example, the 8x8, you can't use the centers to calibrate because here's the center here, but you can easily swap these two. As a matter of fact, right now I could swap these two centers, and what I'd end up with is the wrong centers over here. So with even layer ones, you don't use the centers to calibrate the puzzle. You sort of arbitrarily define that, but you use the corners to calibrate it because the corners never get reduced. So ultimately, the corners need to calibrate it. And when you have a supercube, all the more reason before you get the last two centers, like in the Morphings puzzles, you end up having to use the corners to orient how the centers are supposed to be. So just because you know that the center is supposed to be here, you sometimes need to orient the corners, put the corners in to calibrate where it's supposed to be rotated. So what is the meaning of all that? Well, basically, what calibrates the puzzle here is collectively these guys. So you have two types of pieces. You've got one piece that has two colors to it. This is one whole piece. Then you've got another piece that actually has three colors to it. Blue, red, and green. So although it appears to be one color, this is actually one piece. So these guys actually calibrate the puzzle. So just like I'm defining a side based on what calibrates things, that's what I'm going to do here. So these three are going to calibrate the Pyraminx. So the first thing that you want to do is find your side. I usually go with green. So I'm going to take all of my three green pieces and find a side where they can all come together. Well, can it be over here? Well, no, because this can come here, but this can't. So just sort of reason your way out to which side can take all the greens. And you'd find that it's going to be this side because this green can move into here, this green can move into here, and this green can move into here. Simple as that. Don't want to make it too easy, so let me just go like that. Okay, so it's still too easy. So the next step after this, now you can calibrate these sides over here if you want. Put this here so that you'll have the entire thing calibrated. Not really necessary at this moment. What you want to do is you want to fill in the others by getting your quote cross, or your danger sign, by correlating it with these guys over here. This is going to sort of guide you as to what the side's going to be. The way that you're going to do that is find the green on the bottom, which is over here, and you're going to find that it has two colors. take this color here, whatever this is, and orient it with the side, the top here that has the same color. So this is the yellow. I just put it over here so it's oriented with the yellow here and the green sitting here. This has to transfer up to over here. So the way that I do that is I've got to move this section down in order to get this here. So I'm not gonna put it like this and move this down because this isn't coordinated with the proper color. So this comes over here. So basically what you're going to be doing is move it down to put it on the same level, across, and up. Simple as that. So there it is. So find another green. Here it is. It's red. So I'm not going to move it up from here. You can see that if I tried, it's going to be upside down. So what I'm going to do, line the red up to the red color here. And now just go ahead and do that same thing. It's going to come into here. So down to put at the same level, across and up. So you're good. Here's the final one. The blue is already lined up. It comes into here. So down, across, and up. Now once you've done that, what you're going to do then is you have this whole side. Go ahead and put these squares, rotate them in the proper place. So this is red. Move it here. Everything is going to be fine. What you're going to do next is pick any other side at random. It doesn't matter where. You can try to pick one easy. Maybe if it's the red side, this is going to be a little problem because this is here. So it's got to be flipped, and this has got to be flipped. If that happens, just move this out by that down, across, and up mechanism. It doesn't even matter where. You're now ignoring this. That served its purpose. So what I'm going to do is just move this down. So down, across, and up. So I just substituted with this piece. So now what I'm going to do, again, we put the green one out, but that's okay. Find where the red is. It's red and yellow. So put it in here just like before and just do it again. Down, across, and up. This is now in, and bang. That is always going to work 100% of the time. Now in this case, I did one side and then I just did the same thing with another side and it came in. More often than not, that's what's going to happen. But every so often you're going to find that when you put this side in, it's not solved. Just pick another random side. If you keep doing that, you're going to solve it. That's how easy it is to solve the Pyraminx. So, number 2. Well, the other way that you can do it, if say you want to do it faster, even though that looks fast, is we can make use of certain algorithms. Here's one algorithm. One algorithm that I'm going to use, and these are derivative of other algorithms, is something that's going to rotate these edges. It's going to be based upon an edge rotation from the 3x3, where if I do RU, RIU, R2U, RI, this keeps this edge the same, but these rotate. This comes to here, this comes to here, and this comes to here. So it rotates it in a counterclockwise way. So by doing the clockwise rotation, it rotated these counterclockwise. RU, RIU, R2U, RI, RU, RIU, R2U, RI. Got that back. These are messed up, but we'll deal with that later. So this is going to be based on the same thing. I'm going to be rotating these around. Starting with this, if I do that same algorithm, if I do it clockwise, this will rotate counterclockwise. So this will come over to here, this will come to here, and this will come to here. R, this will be my R over here, and this will be my U over here. So we have R, U, RI, U, R, U, RI. Now I don't do 2U, I just do 1U because this is 4-sided. Because this was 6-sided, I had to do 2U, and when I did the Megaminx, I had to do 3U. This is just 1U. So what you found with this is exactly what we described. This guy came over here, this guy came over here, and this guy came over here. So if I keep doing that, it'll rotate it counterclockwise. Now, I could do an alternative to that. If I wanted to rotate it this way, clockwise, I'd do the opposite and go like RI, UI, R, UI, RI, UI, R. And that brings it back. So that's algorithm number 1, to rotate these around. Algorithm number 2 is something that you've seen me do with certain other puzzles that had a sort of tetrahedral shape, especially the cubes. Now the cubes are interesting because the cubes are like square pyramids basically, but this really has similar motion, and that's going to be what I call the down, down, up, up. I'm very, very scientific in my descriptions with this, but the down, down, up, up basically is a way of rotating these guys around. So we can rotate these guys, or we can rotate these guys. And what this is going to do is if I grab this side over here and go down, right, down, left, up, right, up, left, what that in essence did is it took, when I grabbed it over here, it took this orange, this yellow and blue, put it over here and flipped it. And then it took this red and blue, put it over here and flipped it. So the two that I grabbed moved, in other words, permuted and then reoriented. So they slid and they flipped. Over here, this one, the green and blue, just slid over to here. You see it over here, it did not flip. So if I grab it over here and do the same thing, it's going to go the other way. So this will come over here and flip, this will come over here and flip, and this will slide over here. So down, down, up, up. Pretty easy to visualize what's happening with that. But that's going to become useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our scramble again. I'm not going to scramble these caps as it's not really going to serve much of a purpose for us. But I'm going to solve this using those two algorithms rather, and see what happens. So this is another way if you wanted to solve this in a derivative way based on how I've solved other puzzles. But in any case, we'll start off with the green again. Here's green and green. Once again, we calibrate. Where can these all be on the same side? It'll be this, because this can move here and here. That's something you can just figure out. And we're going to put in this side in exactly the same way. Here's green and blue. Bang. Line it up here with the same color. Down, across, and up. Green and red. Already here. Down, across, and up. The other green, green and yellow over here. Down, across, and up. Okay, so there's two scenarios that you're going to end up with. Number one, it'll be solved. Number two, you're going to have 2 out. Number three, you're going to have 3 out. So the one that's the most complicated is if you have 3 out. Right now this one has 2 out. But let's take it to where you have 3 out. So let's put in that position. Okay, so I put this one out. So the most complicated version is if all 3 of these are out. What you want to do is pick the one where none of the colors match. Here, at least this color matches. Here, at least this color matches. Here, none of the colors match. And ask yourself what side that has to back into. This has to come over to here. So for this to come over to here, we're going to do the algorithm that flips these around, but we want this to rotate clockwise, which means we have to do the counterclockwise spin. That algorithm we're going to want to do the counterclockwise version of the edge rotation algorithm. So that's going to be Ri, Ui, Ru, Ri, Ui, R. So you can see that's over here. So you're going to end up with this. And it's going to seem like almost like a parity situation, although not really. They have to be flipped. What you're going to do in this situation is hold it to where both of them are in the same side, same level. Find the one that's that's normal. Hold it over here to where this is to the back and to the right. Grab it over here, and on the right side go down right, down left, up right, up left. You then rotate this clockwise like so. So this is once again on the right. Now you do the same thing, but you hold it on this side. Down left, down right, up left, upright, and that'll solve it. So that's a way to really quickly do it. Okay, so hope that answers the viewer's question and satisfies their curiosity about Pyraminx. Now I'll make mention of a brilliant idea that someone had of truncating it, where you basically take these caps, since don't really contribute to anything anyway, slice it down, actually even take it off, and just put a sticker over this, and you have the Tetraminx. So the Tetraminx is basically the same thing as the Pyraminx. There's really no difference to it, equipped with all these sides. So these are exactly the same. By taking this off, do we change the strategy at all? And the answer is no. They stuck a sticker on here. Why a red sticker here and not here? It's pretty arbitrary. Might have been better to just put like a gold sticker on each one just to show that they're like a dummy set. It doesn't really have to have any color, come to think of it. Or make it like a super Pyraminx where you have red here, green here, and blue here, and same thing on the other side, but didn't do that. But in any case, really, the strategy here for the Tetraminx is exactly the same. And it's the same because the same pieces are used to calibrate the puzzle. And because the same pieces are used to calibrate it, there's no difference. So let's do it the same way. Here's two greens over here. Where's the other green? It's right here. So I just move that in. I'm going to get the sides the same way. We'll line this up with the blue side here, down, across, up. This is already lined up with the yellow side here, down, across, up. Green is aligned with the red, so we move it down from here, down, across, up. Nah, not too shabby. And we have a situation that's the same here. All it's going to take is one counterclockwise rotation, which means we do our algorithm in the clockwise rotation, starting with RU, RI, U, RU, RI. So it's solved. So it's exactly the same.